All right, hey, Cleaning Nation. This is Mike. We are talking with one of my friends and Clean Profit Method Elite members, Landys. This lady is one of my favorites because she blows me up just about everywhere. When we do a call, she's on it. We're in the Facebook group. She's there. She is one of my favorite implementers as opposed to just kind of consumers of information. And I thought it would be interesting to share her story with you guys. So, Landys, that's what I've got to say about you. Why don't you introduce yourself to Cleaning Nation?
Hi, my name is Landys Turner. I'm the owner of Precise Cleaning, and I've been in business, I guess, going on my third year. So I got with Mike, and I think he's fast tracking me to success. So I'm a little bit new, and that's it. I do residential cleaning as well, and home organization.
Okay, perfect. So tell me a little bit about before we kind of got together. Actually, how did we get together? How did we meet?
I think I saw you on something. I think it was on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. I saw one of your videos, and I listened to a couple of them, I think, and I went to your website and I just decided I wanted to find out about, I think, your accelerator program. And I think I got a chance to talk with Nat, and she just kind of talked to me about what you all offer and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of got in like that, I believe it was.
Okay. And the reason I asked that is A, I'm interested, and B, I want you guys to hear that is the way to attract clients, right? What Landis didn't say is, well, you called me at my house or my business and tried to sell me your stuff, and I wasn't really interested, but you were a really good salesperson and you kept yelling at me, so I gave you money. That's not how we want to attract clients, right? I created content from what I hear you saying, like you heard a podcast or watched one of the YouTube videos, and you liked the content, and then you called in and said, hey, I want more help. Can you help me? And then we kind of took your order. We didn't sell you anything. Is that a fair? Because again, I don't remember. I'm just going by what you're telling me. Is that a fair?
Right, that's fair.
Yeah, and that's how we want, right? We don't want you to have to quote unquote go out there and sell. We want you to create so much good content by the time your prospects call you, they already know, like, and trust you, and they just want to know how to give you money, right? Like how does this work? How can I get started? So good. I'm glad that was your experience, because I always want to make sure I'm marketing the same way I train you all to market, right? It's not like I build my business one way but tell you to do it different. I try to do the exact same things you all do. So good. I'm glad that worked, and you guys kind of got a quick snapshot of what automated marketing systems can look like, right? It wasn't me calling her, or emailing her, or knocking on her door, or doing any of those crazy stuff. She was watching that YouTube video. I was probably hanging out with my kid or doing something fun.
Right.
Not that hanging out with you isn't fun, says her. All right. So enough of that nonsense. Okay. When you found the video, what was going on? What was wrong with your life? What was your pain that made you think, I got to change? This isn't working for me. I need something different.
Well, I mean, I just knew that I think you talked about automating systems. I was hungry for something, and when I got onto your website and looking at the content, you spoke about some things that I was, looking for as far as, expanding my business and automating my business. And I thought, this has got to be it. And, I was hungry. I found it at the right time, messing around on YouTube, and, it's been a happy marriage ever since.
Don't tell my wife; she'll be pissed.
Yeah, but I think you just had some information that I was looking for my business. I was hungry and looking for something, and when I saw it, I jumped on it.
So what were you looking for? I love what I always coach you guys to do, and I still love doing, even though I've been doing this years and I know all you guys. I love hearing about pain. Like, what were you hungry for? What were you kind of looking to make? You had something about, my life isn't the way I want it to be, or my business life isn't the way I want it to be. What specifically did you want? What were you looking for? You kind of mentioned systems. Tell me about that.
I knew that I wanted to automate. I knew that, I didn't want to be in my business for the rest of my life. I knew that I wanted to create a legacy for my daughter and myself. And I didn't want to be in it, and I knew I wasn't going to be in it because I'm 42. So I knew that was, I'm looking forward, fast forwarding, where I want to be in my business. And that what you spoke about, doing that. And I said, well, I need to get with this guy, meet him, talk to him, get on board with him, because this is what I saw for myself.
Okay.
And that was the biggest thing. Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is you were thinking long term, right? You're like, this might be okay for today, but yeah, I hear you, sister. I'm 40. Gosh, I'll be 44 here in a couple months. So we kind of get to that point, like this was okay for my 20s and maybe my 30s, but going forward, I need something different. So I love that you got that. And then for whatever reason, it sounded like the messaging we had on our website or the coaching you got, whatever you got, you felt that was it. That said, it's still got to be scary, right? When, it's, you go online and there's, some guy that maybe he knows what he's talking about. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's like a legitimate thing and maybe he's going to ruin your business. Like, did you have any kind of fear or worry about, what if this is a scam, or what if he doesn't know what he's talking about, or, just the regular stuff that kind of holds us back from doing anything that could be scary to change or improve our business?
Well, I did. I really did, because I've been in a lot of stuff, but I was in a particular program before yours. It wasn't moving me in a direction that I needed to be moved in. When I looked at one of your videos, I could tell that you loved what you do, and I could tell that you didn't mind giving information and sharing. I think a lot of people are out here with programs, and they're not giving you everything, or some of them could be lying and saying, well, I did all of this, but we really have, quote unquote, we didn't have any proof. But I felt like you knew what you were talking about. You had experienced it. You were very passionate about it. You were fun, and you explained more than anybody that I knew. And I felt like I need to deal with him, because he's going to make sure that I get it right. And that was it.
Yeah, gosh, I so appreciate you saying that, because I do. All that's true. I'm so passionate, and I do this. I sold my last couple businesses for good amount of money. So it's not so much that, hey man, if Landys doesn't, pay me this month, I don't know how I'm going to make rent. It's more that I just love owners of cleaning companies. I am absolutely passionate to do it, but it's still scary. So I thank you so much for the vote of confidence. I appreciate that. But you said something kind of key that I think a lot of people listening have, and I don't want them, whether it's me or anybody else, I just don't want to see them get stuck and not move forward out of fear. For me, I know I've had programs, offline, online, doesn't matter, just things that I've invested in that have worked really well, and I'm like, man, I got a great return on my investment. That was so good. And others that didn't, I'm like, man, I kind of wasted. I don't know if the information was no good or if I just didn't apply it, but I just feel like I wasted my time or money. And then I don't want to get burned, right? I see something else that could be good. It could be a life-changing deal, but then I'm like, I don't want to, feel stupid, or what, I don't want to get taken advantage of, or I don't want to waste money. So how do you, again, because I deal with this too, but I know what my perspective is. I always love hearing what your perspective is. What is that like when you're kind of online, you want to grow your business? And just like you said, you're like, I invested in some things before, they didn't work out, and I had fear. How do you overcome that fear, or should you overcome that fear?
Yeah, you should. I definitely, I got tired and I took a break, and I was just like, I'm not going to do something for a minute, because I'm one of those, if I get too frustrated, I have to take a moment and take a back seat and then come back at it. But don't give up. Just continue to look. Even, you just got to have that faith. I said, somebody out here got what I need, and I just have to go on that. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but damn it, it's got to happen. Because I really need it. And I just was, my hunger still didn't die down. And so I'm here.
Yeah, you said a couple things I think that can be really helpful to Cleaning Nation. First of all, that self-awareness is really important. When you said, I know I'm the kind of person that if I don't kind of get it at first, I don't have to give up. I know that doesn't work, but take a step back, take a breath, think it through, and then come back at it. I think it's very self-aware. I think a lot of people don't know that about themselves, or they don't know themselves, and they do get frustrated and just give up, and that's that. So I love that you're self-aware. And then my other thing, and I knew this about you before we started talking today, but I want to share it with everyone else. I love that, and I'm going to paraphrase, I'm going to do it badly, but you said it's so important, I don't want anyone to miss, kind of the attitude of, it's got to work. It's going to work. And maybe this guy or this program will work out, or maybe it won't. But in the overreaching picture, it doesn't matter because I'm going to make it work. Whether it's this program or the next program, whatever it is, I'm just going to keep searching until this thing happens. It's funny. I think a lot of times it's not the program, right? I wish I could beat my chest and be like, I'm a genius. It's not that. It's that Landys is like, you're like, I'm going to make it work. And if you're going to help me, great. You can help me. But if not, I'll find someone else or figure it out myself. But that attitude of it's got to work and I'm going to do whatever it takes. I found with, after coaching hundreds of owners of cleaning companies, that attitude is really in a client. If I had to like predict who's going to be successful and who's not, that attitude of whatever, if I fail once or twice or 437 times, doesn't make any difference. I'm just going to keep going until it works, which you've got in spades, Landys. That's one of my favorite things about working with you. I'll take that over anything else. I would take you on a poor system that's not quite as good than I'd take on someone that's on quote unquote the perfect system, like all the answers, but doesn't have that I don't care. I'm just going to go till this thing's done and nothing's going to stop me attitude. So I really want to encourage you, Landys, to keep up that, and then Cleaning Nation to go, you know what? That's it. Because trust me, in business, there's a lot of people that are smarter than me, better looking than me, have more money than me. Pick any sort of anything, and I'll point out 100 guys or gals that are better and have more of it than me. But very few people have more of the I don't care. I'll just do it. And if I have to look stupid or do something scary, or I don't care. I don't care. Whatever it takes. And I love that. And you, Landys, and my successful cleaners. All right. So since we started hanging out, and since you've been a part, and you joined as the accelerator, you're like a legacy member, and we don't even have that program anymore. We've upgraded to the Clean Profit Method Elite. Since you've been kind of hanging out with us in the community, how is your life different, better, worse, same? Talk to me.
Oh my God. Like I said, I'm learning a lot. I've improved my bottom line. I've raised my prices. I'm on credit card now. I just feel like I've done a lot being in your program. I've done so much in a short amount of time, which I'm so happy about. It's made me on my grind, and I'm probably sure I'll wear you out with questions because I really, really want to get this. Like, this is it for me, and I'm excited, and I love getting on the calls. I try not to miss a call. If I miss a call, I'm just like totally upset about it. But, and I don't miss too many. But I definitely I feel like you really make sure that we understand it, and you'll stay with us until we get it. You're not like, oh my God, you really take the time with us. And it's a lot of people out here just not trying to be funny. They just getting money. They don't care if you get it or not. It may not be what they say it is. And I think that you are the real deal, my friend. You definitely are.
Man, you said so much, and I've got like 38 things I wanted to hit on that, because there's like, you jumped over a bunch of really important stuff that I want people to get the backstory on. First, a clarification. When Landys says she's on credit cards, it means she is charging her customers at the first of the month via credit card, not having to wait for checks or do collections. Not that she's on credit. You're not paying your bills with credit card. You're receiving money on credit card. I just don't want people to think, because I'm not a big fan of that. I don't want people to think I'm telling you to like borrow money on credit cards, because you are not borrowing money on credit cards. You are getting paid via credit card, which is very different. Money coming in, not money going out. So I just want to clarify that. Second, I'm dying for you to share the story of, because you are, first of all, yes, you absolutely wear me out. Landys is probably the most questions. And you know what? I don't get frustrated because she's the most implement. Where I would get frustrated, I'll be totally honest with you, Landys, if you kept beating me up with all these questions, but you never did anything with it and just kept asking new questions without implementing the old ones, I'd cut you off. I'd be like, sister, you got to do something. Like, quit. You're wearing me out with these questions. You never wear me out because you do it. Like, they're new questions, and you raise prices. You are on credit cards. You are on billing. Your cash flow is better. You're making more money. All the stuff that we talk about, you do. And if I have to explain it 9 times to you and you do it, or 1 time to somebody else and they don't do it, I'll take 9 times with you every time. So I love. And if you're listening and going, how can I get the most out of a coach or a mentor or anybody, whether it's me or anybody else, doesn't make any difference. That's it. I promise you, as a coach, I get worn out by people that don't implement. I'm like, I don't mind tearing my heart out and pouring my heart out to help these people and just anything I can to make you all successful. But you got to be at least as committed to you as I am, right? And when you're just like, man, I'm like, well, how can I get excited? You're not even interested. And Landys, you are right. She almost never misses a call. I get bummed. You're like, I'm bummed when I miss a call. I'm like, me too. When I do a call and Landys isn't there, I'm like, something's wrong. Like what? Well, oh yeah, Landys didn't call. So you got me trained to like expect to talk to you and help you. And when I hear your voice, I don't need introduction like, oh, this is Landys, I'm residential. I know who you are. I know what's going on. Like, so that's awesome. And I just want to tell you guys, every one of my elite members pay the exact same amount. And some of them, Landys, get a crazy amount of value because they ask me all the questions. And it's not pay per question or pay per value. It's pay per month. And if you want to revolutionize your whole business and double your profit and grow, that's fine. If you want to just keep paying and doing nothing, okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it's fine, but that's on you. So that's that. Right. Tell the story about raising prices, because you are so typical of a lot of what people go through, and they're probably going through now, and they get scared and they don't want to do it. And they think their customers are going to quit or yell at them, or they're going to be bad people or greedy. Tell me, just not me, but share with Clean Nation just the emotions you went through when I coached you to raise prices, and you're like, oh, like just give me the fear so we can kind of help some people that haven't done it yet to maybe see the value in it.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a big fan of raising prices, but I think you took me to a level that I hadn't been. You weren't at the beginning.
When I met you, you weren't. Yeah. You were scared.
Well, let me tell you what I did when I first met you. Before I met you a couple years ago, I started out because I was working with a maid company. And once I found out I was a hot commodity, I went on my own. I started from the gate charging $80, like for real. And then, after that, I raised my prices up. But then when I got with you, it was like, I think I raised my prices to like, I think it was like $100 or $200 a month. And then when I got with you, you were like, $240. And I was like, what? I'm like, some more? And one of my customers told me, Landys, it's about time. And that was a big, vote of confidence. But he said, I didn't want to tell you because I'm your customer. Of course, he said, but I just felt like it was about time that you did that because you deserve it and you worked so hard. And he said, I trust you in my house. I know that you're going to clean consistently when you come every time. And when you asked me to raise the prices, I was like, oh, this man killing me now. He really killing me. And like, this is like the next level. So I said, okay, maybe this is a level that I haven't, of course, apparently it's a level I hadn't been on. And I think you were stretching me a little bit. Cause, I thought, oh yeah, I'm not afraid to do this, da 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 da. And then when I got with you, I was like, oh, okay, he got me. So that's how I knew. I said, this is going to be a growing experience. And so I told myself, I said, okay, you're going to have to do this. As uncomfortable as it is, do it. You got to do it. You're not in this class, for no reason. You hungry for it. This is what you want. And the last thing, you're paying for it. So yeah. I'm like, I said, let me do this. And I did it afraid. And that's what I want to tell everybody. Like, do it afraid. It is the most uncomfortable thing. And being an entrepreneur, I know that you must be not afraid to be uncomfortable most of the time. And I think me doing it anyway, past my ideas of what I thought, dealing with someone that has done it and, has gotten to where I want to be, that made sense to me. I had to remind myself, but it took me a while to do it because it was a block there. And I was like, no, I was fighting myself. But you stretching me. And so I just knew that it was growth.
Yeah, if I remember right, that didn't happen on the first time I asked you or encouraged you to do it. It probably took you a month or two. And I remember when you finally did, I forget it was on a call or on a Facebook post, probably both. I remember you saying, I did it. I was so scared and I did it. It was okay and it went great. And it's very common, just so people going, oh my gosh, I can't believe a customer actually told you that it's about time and they were surprised that you didn't raise them sooner. Everyone thinks that's shocking. Yeah. It happens just about every time. So it's not like, right. So if you're listening, you're scared, you don't be shocked when that happens to you. And again, if you raise prices on 10 people, you'll get almost every time, if you're doing a good job, of course, you're doing a crappy job, you can't raise prices, but
Right.
you'll get one or two, I'm pissed off, or I'm not paying that, or you're screwing me. One or two, yeah, I know you've been cheap. I was hoping you wouldn't figure it out, but you did, and of course I'll pay, and or even you should have paid earlier, and then everyone in the middle is like, yeah, fine, I don't care. It's you're all worried and you're all uptight mentally, and they're like, yeah, okay. And you're like, that's it? You're not going to get mad? Yeah, what? Yeah, people raise prices. What do you want? What do you want from me? And you're like, oh, why didn't I do that earlier? And a little bit of context. We keep talking about raising prices. Landys is in the clean profit method, and there is a calculator in there that tells you what you should be charging. So please don't hear, no matter where you are or what you're doing, just raise prices. That's not what I'm coaching at all. But you should know where your margin should be, what your cost of goods sold should be. And it doesn't matter how many times you've raised prices or how recently you've raised prices, your prices need to be correct. So if you're not charging enough, if your cost of goods sold is too high and there's not enough money left over for a reasonable margin, and you need margin to do a good job and you need margin to make profit, right? You have to be able to feed your family. If there's not enough margin, you got to raise prices. So stuff like, but Mrs. Johnson's been with me since the beginning, 5 years, and she's been great. I could never raise her price. You're not taking a kidney. You're just charging fair wages for work that you've been doing. That's it. So don't get people get like they're asking for, a blood transfusion. It's like you just raising their cleaning prices $20 a month. It's not that big a deal. So, and it's funny, everybody does the same thing. That's why I like Landys sharing it, because I know there's people listening that are scared and they're worried that, it won't work or they'll get in trouble or something bad will happen. And when you hear people like Landys go, okay, she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
All right. Any other big changes in your life or your business that you'd like to share before we go?
I just wanted to say, like it's just to tie into the last part of what you said is like, I did lose a couple, but it's okay, and I'm cool. It didn't make or break me. And it's I think it's just important, the importance of having a mentor. We got a lot of them, everybody wants to say that they're a mentor, but the importance of having the right mentor. When you find the right one, jump on board and get in there. Don't be scared. Don't procrastinate as much as you can. Remember why you're here so you can get right back on the horse and go for it. I got in this to get results. And so when I went back to the reason that I entered, I had to go back to the drawing board and say, I got to do what this man said because I'm here and this is what I wanted. And so you got to want it bad enough to take the risk. You got to take the risk of being uncomfortable, down from, asking questions. I try not to ask too many when we're doing the conference so that other people can get in. So that some people can get in, but I do have a lot because I really am implementing. I really am doing this on a day-to-day basis. I literally listen to the things, that you say. And sometimes my mom she'll come with me to work whenever she's feeling like it. And I'll talk to her about stuff that you told me, and she's like, I can just see you growing, and it's stretching me, not just business wise, but personally. So I'm excited. I'm still excited. I get my times, we get frustrated, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm glad to be here.
We are glad to have you, Landys. I got to tell you, you add a lot of just personality and value to the calls. And it's great because I promise you, there are some people that are afraid to ask the questions and you are not. So you're like, oh, I don't want to bother everybody with all these questions. I promise you, other people have those questions. Oh, thank God Landys asked it. I don't have to feel silly and ask it. But I still need the answer. So that's why I'd never shut you down and be like, oh, I'm not going to answer that, or you're wasting everyone's time. Because you're not. You're asking stuff that everybody wants to know, but everyone's afraid. So and again, you're like, hey, if I got to look stupid in front of these people, I don't care. I need this help and I have a question and I'm paying to be here. So I'm going to ask it. And I love that about you. And I don't know that you know it, but I know that you encourage a lot of people in the group, and our group is better because you're a part of it, right? Like one of my favorite things is, I certainly contribute to this community as much as I can, but I get that, we're all smarter than any of us are smart, right? So as a group, we're way smarter than just me. So I know you take a lot from the group, but sister, you contribute. Like you are absolutely adding to the group. So it's a cool two-way deal where obviously you're getting a lot of value, but just from a coach's standpoint, you are giving a tremendous amount of value. And I feel like we're lucky to have you in the group.
Well, I'm so lucky to be here. I'm so excited, and I thank you so much.
All right, sister. Well, I love having you. I will try and put your contact information, or at least your website, in the show notes, or not the show notes because this isn't a podcast, but if whatever page you were looking at this on, I'll try and have Landys's contact info. So if you want her to encourage you in person, maybe you can reach out to her and tell her how awesome she is. Landys, thanks again for coming on. Thanks for being a friend and a customer. And you and I'll talk soon, okay?
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure.